Hey guys, David and Len here. Welcome to Wargame Chat. Today we're going to talk about our favorite game designers. My favorite game designer is from the Chicagoland area. He's named Neil Zimmerer. My dad had met him. A bunch of people I game with have met him. I never met him though, which is unfortunate because I love his games. And as far as I know, he doesn't live that far from where my dad lives right now, or he did. I've heard that he passed away. But some of the games that, before I go into the games that he's made, he was a game designer who made games that were a ton of fun, but they're much lower complexity than the war games you see nowadays, so even a beginner could learn them. And the good thing about these simpler games is if you got into the game and you decided you wanted it to be more complex, you could just add a few rules of your own to make it more complex. So they're really easy to customize if you wanted to. Let's go over some of them. First one most of you have probably heard of is Naval War. He was one of the authors of that. It was a World War II card game that was a ton of fun. The only problem with it is you could have forces from all different nations in your hand, so you might have a hand with both Japanese and American ships, which was absurd, but the game was still fun. And then he did Attack of the Mutants. I've never played the box game version of it, but I played the free version. Actually, I bought the free version from you, I think. The free version was fun. I'm sure the box one is fun. Space Empires, that's one of his best micro games. It's basically kind of plays like Risk in outer space, except that the different ships from the different alien races all have special abilities, and as you take over other alien races, you get ships with their abilities and stuff, so that's a really cool one. Here's one from Yaquinto that everyone who's played it has liked it, as far as I know, is Fast Attack Boats, a game of the Arab-Israeli naval war. That was fun. And here's a super fun one, The Castle from Mayfair Games. That was a micro game, but essentially you set up this castle and each room has two counters. One is a monster and one is a treasure, and you're moving through there looking for the princess and stuff, and you have magic spells and all sorts of stuff. I think one was ESP, where you could look at the counters in a room without entering the room and stuff. It was super simple but super fun. Here's one of his best, The Fall of South Vietnam, a game of combat in South Vietnam. Remember when we played that?
Yes.
Super low complexity area control war game, but God was it fun. And you could, if you don't like the low complexity, you could customize the hell out of it and add new rules and stuff. Let's see. Here's one I want to get, but I can't find. ICBM, that's from Mayfair Games, one of the micro games. I can't find anyone who's selling that. Transylvania, that was a good area control one. That was a micro game. And let's see here. Yeah, those are the main ones. So every game I've played of this guy's I have liked. So he was a great game designer.
Okay.
How about you?
When Dave proposed this subject, I was thinking most of the time I don't remember who designed the game. I buy it based on the subject, the battle or the war. So I was mainly thinking, which game designers have I seen the most of? And it has to be Jim Dunnigan, because
he's got some good ones too.
Yeah. He had he wrote a lot of games for the S&T magazine. He had a lot of box games. I think he had a few of them for a few other people. So it's like I've counted his games the most. I was thinking my favorite one of his is probably Sniper. Outside of the fact it's the first skirmish game that I've ever heard of, it provided endless hours of fun. And the next designer that I probably saw a lot of was Richard Berg. He had he designed games on a variety of subjects. And even though I met the guy in real life and he was a jerk, but
that's what everyone.
I won't hold that.
Everyone's got a story about that guy. I can tell you some stories I heard.
It's more funny than. But anyway, I was thinking some of the games were innovative, and he had this, I think, of Men of Iron, Medieval War. It had 3 games: Men of Iron, the one about the Crusaders. And Infidel was the one on the Crusaders, and the one of the War of Roses.
Yeah, they're all the GMT games, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Plus, also Arquebus had the same system, and
we played that.
Yeah, and to me, it gave a feel of warfare. It's not, you said, it's your turn. You tell the left wing to attack, and it may not attack, or it may, and if it doesn't, maybe the other guy will attack, or he'll have the same problems. And I think it's kind of strange, but you get the feel of, you are not in automatic control of your units. And also, victory tends to be decided by when your preservation level goes down to 0. Or, get to like a panic level. Which is true. Most battles you fought to a certain limit, and then if it got too much, people would run. Next guy I could think of would be Jack Green, who designed mostly naval games. He has other subjects, but I can't remember. But he had such things as Iron Bottom Sound, Royal Navy, Destroyer Captain.
I've heard of all of those. Actually, I've owned several of them.
Yeah, and there's probably a few. Battle Tsunami, Fleet Admiral, and probably a few others I can't think of. The reason why I bring him up is that his games get played. He managed to take a complex subject like tactical naval warfare and make it manageable and fun. And a lot of these battles can be repeated. In fact, I'm thinking of getting the Battle of Graf Spee out. The last one I noted would be Gary Gygax, who started being a wargame designer, because I think you got Alexander the Great, which had a lot of innovative features.
And he made Dungeons and Dragons too, which everyone's heard of, and a bunch of other good games.
So it's like he was an innovator that changed things. So those are the ones that popped out of my mind immediately.
Cool.
So.
All right, guys, why don't you post in the comments section who your favorite games designers are. Have a good evening.